Hi everyone, a very happy day to all of you, wherever you are connecting from. Great to see you all here. And starting the live, we will very soon have our speaker on the call, and we will get to learn a lot from our speaker. So let me invite our speaker onto this call. I hope it comes now. Let's just see how this works. Instagram is really testing our patience. But nothing is going to take us. Yes, live, lovely, great to see you.
Hello.
Hi, Slomi. Thank you for joining. Can you hear me?
For the glitch, there was some glitch happening from my end.
Is it? But yeah, that's perfectly fine because technical things are always expected on a digital world. You just have to take it with a pinch of salt. So,
Absolutely.
how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm going good. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you so much for joining us here because it really means a lot. Hi, Shampa. Thank you for joining. She's also from our community. So
Great.
I'm super, super amazed that, we have you here.
Thank
And
you.
there is a lot of learning that's going to come because I'm super interested with what you do. And I think you needed to be here for not just for us, but for many more people so that they can hear, reflect, and then learn on what's happening, what's inside, what's outside. There's a lot what we're going to demystify today. So let's start with our session. Slovi, are we all set?
Yes, let's dive in.
Lovely. Thank you so much. So, giving a quick introductions to everyone who's listening in and who's going to listen to this recording. Slomi is the founder. He is brought this Thrive 360 community into life for many of us. Uh, He is taking care of women. He is taking care of, the individuals to come out of emotional eating and take care of their emotional health. And we get to learn a lot in these conversations. So stay tuned, maybe have a pen and a paper so that you can write down whatever you're learning. You can connect with her after this call if this resonates with you and that's something you want to work on. He's right here to serve. So I welcome you, Slomi, to this beautiful life.
Thank you.
And let's get on with our first question. All right, I've written a couple of them. So what is your why behind choosing emotional eating and food freedom? This is very interesting.
First of all, Suji, thank you for inviting me, and I'm really grateful to be here. And yeah, I'm really super excited to share some insights about what emotional eating is because, emotional eating, many of them are going through a lot of hidden struggle. Many of them do not even know what emotional eating is all about. So, yes, this insight that I would be sharing will be like enlightenment for a lot of people, and I'm sure this whatever they go through today will be a good journey for them to reflect back, to pause, and yeah, take it forward. Coming to your question on the why. So, to let you know, the why comes from me. I have been an emotional eater, and the struggle that I have gone through has taught me a lot. And I feel that a lot of women are going through the same, which I have gone through in my journey as well. So my why is because I know what emotional eating is. I know that how it feels to eat when you're not hungry, and that hunger is not actually your body asking, but it is your emotions. That could be your stress, that could be your anxiety, that could be your loneliness. All right. So the women, I'm sure, who are watching this can relate to a lot of things that, as a women we go through, but we do not really, have that kind of a support that we want. So just to make it very simple, my why is to help women break free from this chain of the vicious circle of emotional eating and to feel good in their own skin, to feel have the freedom, the power to enjoy food and life.
Wow, that is so deep. I mean, literally, I can resonate with that because there was a time I even did that, like binge eating, just because of a lot of things happening, and we just do that, and we
Yeah.
just don't tend to be kind to ourselves. We tend to be kind to that situation, what's happening, and we just want to, superficially do something about it. But
Right.
let's go maybe a step deeper to understand that you said it is not about the food, it is about the emotions. So can you bring a little more depth or relatability? Like, how is it in your day-to-day life? How does it feel for a woman to be caught up in that emotions, and how is that connected to the food?
Right. So I would like to give my own, example, a story, not a story, but something that made me realize um, that, I was an emotional eater. All right. So I remember that there was, one evening after a a very stressful day at work, and I had my whole dinner. I was not at all hungry, and I remember that I walked to the fridge and I kept opening the fridge again and again. And trust me, I was not at all hungry. But there was something that happened that day, earlier that day. I remember there was some communication which I had with a conversation which I had with a colleague, which was not a very a nice conversation. And I was really hurt that time. And that was actually a way I was trying to soothe myself with the comfort of a chocolate. There have been many instances like that. But this instant made me realize that, even when I was not hungry, I still reached out for that food. And I realized that for so many years, I was actually not feeding my emotions, my hunger. I was actually feeding nothing but the emotions. And that was actually the turning point for me, that I realized. So many women who are watching this can relate to everything that I'm saying, because as a women, we do not have the right kind of, you can say, support. Sometimes we are not aware that, something like this is actually happening inwards. Okay. And this is something that, made me realize that I'm not the only one. There are so many women who are facing this challenge. So why not create awareness? So that was my point where I felt that I need to heal. Okay, so I went through some healing techniques that I realized that helped me. In fact, I am, still in this process, because every day there's a new challenge which comes in for, for everyone for that matter.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally resonate because we all go through daily emotions. It's like breakfast, lunch, dinner. And it
Yeah.
just happens every day, but there could be many micro tools, which you may be aware of, which would really help people. Maybe we would come to that in the next couple of minutes, but let's go a little more into, emotional eating and how is, the stress factor or the cortisol playing a key role in this? Because we see a lot, on junk food, on processed food, not even realizing what is actually happening inside. So can you, shed some light on that?
Sure. So, when stress hits, there is something called as a stress hormone, which is cortisol. So our brain goes into like a fight or a flight mode. and it wants something called as a quick relief. So sometimes, we realize that, Ari, we are not even hungry, but why this craving hits us? The reason being is because the brain wants us to, suit down. And the quickest comfort button that, the brain can think is nothing but the food, for that matter, right? And but as a woman, I feel that I don't have the willpower, to not go to that packet of chips, not go to that, that sweet, for that matter. But please remember, it is nothing to do with you. All right, it is basically the stress hormone that plays a very vital role, that is a cortisol. So we need to have that kind of an awareness in that. So yeah, so this is basically the reason why, we binge on something, and that binge only comes when we are stressed, or we have that kind of an anxiety which comes in. And also, you also need to realize that, this hunger which comes in is nothing but just an emotional hunger. So it's more of the awareness.
That's quite deep. Yeah, I mean, many of us don't even think why are
Yes,
we
absolutely.
eating,
Yeah,
right?
true.
Like you said, it takes a lot of awareness. So
Yeah.
how do you differentiate a true hunger and an emotional hunger?
Right. See, the physical hunger is something which can come anytime, right? But the emotional hunger comes in when you are having anxiety, stress, when you are having a lonely time. There are so many times when we are so lonely and we want to watch some kind of a Netflix and we just want to binge on something. That actually is nothing but your emotional stress which comes in, right? And the differentiation can be one more, that you're in the not in the physical but in the emotional, to let you know, is more where you have more of sweet or some carbs that you are very very you crave for, so that you can basically differentiate. And emotional hunger also comes very late, mostly in the evenings or in the night time. So that also is something that you can bifurcate than the physical hunger.
Wow. Thank you for giving that, tip, which really helps most of the people who are listening also, because it usually happens during, when you're sitting relaxed and maybe something is worrying on the inside. And maybe just to, cover it up, we end up just binging
Yes.
and binging and not even realizing maybe a packet full, two packets full is just getting over like that.
And
And
what happens is, after you eat that, you go get into that vicious cycle of eating because you're stressed, and then later on realizing what have I done, and then you feel guilty. But then again, that cycle keeps continuing. So that has been happening for me all these years.
yes, totally. And that's so much, consistent on a daily basis or a weekly basis that then it takes a toll on our health. Let it be mental or physical or emotional, right? Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so let me ask you, okay, what is the first step someone can take to overcome emotional eating?
The first step for to just make it very simple, the first step anybody watching here, or could be that you just need to pause before you reach out to that packet of chips, or you reach out to that packet of some unhealthy snack. Just pause for that 10 seconds. All right. And what you can do is just close your eyes and put your hand on your heart and ask, is this physical hunger or is this emotional hunger? That tiny pause is the first step for awareness. And that first step of awareness is the first door for freedom. That is the first thing that anybody can do, that is pausing. The second and the most important is journaling. I have been doing that for a long time now. And journaling is a beautiful, I'm sure you also do that, Suji. Journaling is the best thing to just reflect back, because there are so many things, and how life is. We are stressed, we binge on something. But if you pause and then you do journaling, actually you are making your mind a little more calmer and you're
Hmm.
writing your, that's the best way of reflecting back what actually is going on, right? And there are three important things you can write down. What is making you stressed? What happened before, you were triggered? And do you think this is a comfort food that you need to do, or there is something else you can reflect on? So these things are mindful, and this actually helps you to step back and think. And then you're actually making the food a byproduct. It's not going to be your primary. You have all the control whether you want to eat it or not. And the third important would be, if you feel like even eating or binging, there are so many healthy options you can take, isn't it? The first could be, sometimes, we are not even hungry. We are actually so dehydrated. So you can always have some water or a coconut water for that matter. That is the first thing. The second could be you can have some fruit, a seasonal fruit with, with some nuts. That's the best thing to do. Or some, you can make a nice smoothie. You can have some, you can have some dates with yogurt, with banana. There are so many healthy options that we can choose than binging on these unhealthy snacks. Because as you also know, if we keep binging, what happens? There's so much of sugar spike. There's so much of anxiety, obesity. Those things obviously go into the extreme for people, who have been doing binge eating for a long time.
Totally with you in
Yeah,
everything that you said, because these are things as humans we all experience. And especially when you take that pause, that sacred pause, I think
yeah,
that is where the game changes.
true.
It changes completely, because at least you become aware that this may not be my physical hunger. Like, I'm not really hungry right now to eat anything. So
Yeah,
once that thing happens, then it's more about maybe just drinking water, like you said, or doing a journaling, reflecting what is
yeah,
exactly happening, what is communicating, like what your body is saying to you. That is very important, right? And
right.
the moment we are able to do that, you're coming out of, anyways, that appetite will fade off because that was fake. That was a emotional trigger.
Yeah, absolutely. So if these practices are implemented, although it is not an overnight thing that, one day you do everything changes, it's a step by step, small steps. And it's not like any other crash diet, which we take in. This is going to be a very, meaningful practice that everybody should do, and
Yeah.
you should do it daily and consistently. You will keep, there will be times when you might rise, you might fall, but it all depends upon where you want to see yourself.
Yes. Your health needs to be your priority. But
Yeah,
when we
absolutely.
get caught up with situations, problems, maybe, an argument or a humiliation, and then that place is when,
True.
we end up doing all this. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I see a beautiful comment here by Pilot Adam, and what he says is binge eating and watching Netflix was kind of an escape mechanism. I ought to divert my thoughts during the toughest times of my life, and the cravings only for few minutes, but so hard to control it, right? I mean, as humans, this is something we really go through. And I like the point where you mentioned, if you have that awareness, you're able to, shift from that space. So how do we build this awareness from, like, any
So,
any tip you have for people to practice, like, every day maybe?
So as I already told about, the awareness is, just pausing, breathing. And also one more thing is, as women, we always keep ourselves the secondary. There are so many priorities in our life that we keep it as primary, for that matter. I feel that if women give some time for themselves, okay, because sometimes we feel that, the self-care is now, we feel so guilty of even taking that 10 minutes for ourselves. the entire day. So I feel, because I have also gone through that, so I know it how it feels. But if, we have to be a little, we should take some time for ourselves. Every day, just those 10 minutes, just do some kind of an exercise, just close your eyes, just breathe in, breathe out. That's the best thing.
Mhm.
Do some sort of a meditation. The life is so, every day the life is so challenging. And also, if you just calm down, those reflect, whatever how you feel is what you give to another person, whether it's to your people around you at your workspace. So I think doing these small, tiny bit practices will take us, to a higher place. So yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you have given such magical tools which, people can use every single day. Like you said, 10
Yeah.
minutes of workout, 10 minutes
Yeah.
of exercise itself is like you release a lot of adrenaline. It feels good. It
Yeah.
feels that pump.
Yeah, even if you listen to music or if you love doing some sort of just enjoy, go out, go for a walk, instead of, just
Yes.
sulking and how my life is, just go for a beautiful walk outside, go go meet people. In fact,
Hmm.
because of so much of social media, we don't even like to call people, you know. So
Yes.
that is how, life has become. Just call someone, call your best friend and just talk. That even that if, maybe you might not like to share some things, what is going on, but just having heard, whatever how it is, it's such a beautiful thing. So these are some beautiful things that, we can do.
Totally, totally. Social connection, the second thing that you highlighted, because we're all social beings and we need that connection, like someone to just speak up, someone to just share it with. Then you mentioned about exercise, which is like you're breaking that state of being in that dilemma or that emotional, debris. You're coming out of it. When you're shaking your body, you're just switching your state. And then
Correct,
taking that moment of pause, maybe drinking water, that is also breaking your state. Like you
correct,
then realize, okay, I never had hunger, then what was I going to the fridge for? And then
correct.
you become more aware of it. And even when you told about breathing, meditation, what you do, breathing in and breathing out, it is like it is bringing you back to the present moment. So you're no more, thinking or worrying about what was that, what did that person say, or why did this relationship break, or, what was the, you're not in that past. You're in the
True.
present where creation happens. Wow.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much for, all these amazing tips and do you think these are things, which can be easily incorporated every single day? Because I see people say, I don't get time. I'm very busy. I can't do this. Like even 2 minutes ka meditation. And like you said, females, yeah, I mean, even if we get 2 minutes, we're like, okay, let me just wash up those dishes. Or let me just take this clothes and put it in the laundry. Or let me just
Yeah.
dry it. Kuch na kuch, something will pop up.
Absolutely.
And we are like, okay, maybe I will do my thing later, but let me just clean up the place or let me just fold these clothes.
Correct.
We get so caught up in all this. But even if we are doing anything, if for example, I'm not doing my meditation, but rather I'm like, I need to fold the clothes, it's all piled up. And even when I'm folding, if I'm being aware of what I'm doing,
True.
I'm still breaking the state, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Hmm.
When
Amazing.
for the women, for that matter, who are working, I understand that for women who are working is very difficult because you have to take care of the house, you have to do your work, it gets difficult. So while you're on the move, while you're traveling, that is the best time. You can take a book, do some journaling, or listen to some soothing music, or you can just close your eyes and just do that for 2 minutes, 5 minutes of meditation. I don't think that takes a lot of time. It is up to so it's more of you really want to do. We do
Yes.
not need to giving excuses that ye hai wo hai. Excuses will be always in our life. It's about us taking that decision that I want to do something with my life. I really want to get out of this situation. So when
Yes.
we actually take that, because I'm sure we do this in different areas of our life. But if we can take that for our own health, I mean, the health is so important nowadays. You see the news of so many things happening around in the world. So if we have to if we want to do things, we need to keep ourselves healthy. Okay, so this is the best thing, best practice to be taken. Yeah.
Totally, totally. Thank you so much, Toby, because this is what everyone needs to hear. Like maybe we are focusing on women, but I think every human being should
Yeah.
really consider, am I important to myself? Okay, my work is important, family is important, children, parents, work, your goals, everything is important. But are you important?
So
Because I think the rest all we get to learn from society, we get to learn from education system, but nobody teaches us how to focus on this way. We focus on all the outer side, but we don't focus inward.
absolutely, yes, that's true. That is
Yeah.
how I think we have been always been somewhere been taught that we need to be very strong. We should, keep a lot of things inwards. We cannot share
Yeah.
a lot. And that is the reason why, you wouldn't believe, if there are if there are, sorry, 10 women in a room, 8 out of 10 are going through hidden struggle, but they do
Yes.
not want to share.
Hmm.
Those, that is actually the reality now. So
Yes.
whenever I speak to a lot of women, yes, we are going through it, but we don't have that kind of a support. We don't feel like we can share it with anybody. So that's how the society now is. They are not very cooperative. Although there are many who do support their the women out there, but still women are not really open to take the next step.
Yes. And like you said, I am strong. This is a facade or a mask that we put and we walk around saying that I am very strong. Like I can take everything. I can do it all by myself. This is another thing. And I think even because of this, we end up emotionally eating. Because when I think I have to do it all by myself, but somewhere the inner voice is like, yeah, I cannot do it all by myself.
True,
But
true,
you don't feel like asking. That
yeah.
that block of asking makes you again do all those emotional eating, right?
True, true. Always showing that you are just perfect, because of a lot of pressure. You just do not like to share it. And that
Hmm.
inner keeps on going inwards. And then when you and the thing is that because of a lot of women facing this kind of a challenge, that was one of the reason why I felt that when I am going through that struggle, it's always, I felt that there are so many women who are going through that, and I've seen that in my workspace as well. And that was one of the intention why I founded what is Thrive 360 Collective. So yeah, so that's how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for these beautiful tips that you have given. Let it be music or journaling or shaking up your body or creating that pause state, just reflecting back, maybe drinking some water, maybe just doing something fully aware, fully present to just break that state really helps a lot. So I think
Yeah.
all this would help people to, take this and like time nahi hai, I'm busy. These are all excuses. Like you just need to ask, am I important to me? And then I think, things will flow.
Absolutely.
Amazing. So before,
That is what I would like everybody to do is just keep yourself, give yourself that priority, give yourself that every day that 10-15 minutes and just try doing, be selfless to yourself and do it. And when you are happy, you will make everybody happy. So yeah.
absolutely, it's so magical. Like, what is inside, it just radiates out. You don't even have to make any efforts, people feel it.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
Thank you, Slovi. And before I let you go, I would like to ask you, like, tell me something more about your Thrive 360 community and how can people reach you, like, if they really need support, like those who are listening, maybe those who are listening to the recording, how would
Right.
you provide that support to the group?
So, Pride 360 Collective is my heart. It's my baby. Um it was, it was built with a lot of love and lot of passion. And this is a safe space for women. So I am currently, I only help women, who are facing this challenge of emotional eating. So in this community, we help them with, with emotions, how to handle emotions, how to handle anxiety. We help them with different routines, step by step. So this is a community which will help women to lead a more fulfilling, a more empowered life. Okay, that is what we do in this community, and this is open for any women, for that matter, who would like to, regain their energy, regain their self-confidence. Yeah.
Mm.
So community is basically helping women break through that, emotional eating pattern and feel good in their skin again. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. And I encourage all of you to go ahead and follow her channel, which is Thrive 360 Community, and take your conversations forward and just open up. Like, you don't have to do it all alone. You don't have to think that I am strong, that I can find my way. When somebody has already found that way and they have experienced, like she has gone through what you may be going through today. So she has, proven scientific techniques which would really help you to break free from that, emotional eating, and, really enjoy food because you love it. You just want to have it because of your stomach and not because of your mind. So
True.
thank you, Slovi. Thank you so much for coming in. And
Thank you so
would love to call you in maybe some other time again. Let's have this, frequent connections where people can just listen, take it, and practice and stay connected. So thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much, Suji, for inviting me, and thanks to all the viewers. Just one tip is that you are not broken, so don't think that you do not have the willpower. It's just that you need to have that awareness, and once you have the awareness, the relationship with food just becomes so beautiful.
Amazing. Totally. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And stay blessed. Let your community keep thriving and let you keep helping many more women in their journey. Thank you so much for being here. Stay blessed.
Take care. God bless you. Bye.
All right.